Hey everyone, welcome back. I have my cup of tea and I'm ready to record. So, this video is probably one of my favorite builds I've done, which I feel like I say that a lot. I think I'm just constantly surprised that I can actually build something semi-decent, and I definitely do build them a lot better when I build videos for YouTube. I think it adds a bit more challenge and a little bit more pressure that makes me want to be better and just to try and make some better builds. So this one is called Rosemary's Cottage. Oh, I think it's Rosemary's Reserve at the moment. I possibly did change that because I don't know how I feel about that. But the whole gist of this is it's a little kind of cottagey home in the middle of Newcrest, actually. But it's a cottage, and it's this old lady cottage, and the woman called Rosemary lives there, and she's lived there for donkey's yonks. Her children possibly grew up in this house. There's definitely room for extra bedrooms if you'd like, but it's all been made into a single bedroom home now. There is a lot of garden and a lot of terrain painting and landscaping and a lot of clutter and statues and like gnomes and things, and I just had so much fun making it. I think it's such a fun concept to have like little old looking homes, and I really, really like it. The old lady and me would be very happy to live here, and my sim self would probably be very happy to live here as well. But Rosemary lives here, and I did make a Rosemary sim to play in this house. She will also be up on the gallery along with this home, so if you would like to download them both, they are there. So this build is pack restricted. I actually used James Turner's randomizer of packs to pick one stuff pack, one game pack, and one expansion that I was going to build with, and I ended up with Movie Hangout, Realm of Magic, and Cats and Dogs, which I was pretty thrilled with that. Like, that's a pretty good combination to have. So I had a lot of fun playing around with them, and I really hope you enjoy this. I spent quite a bit of time on this, mostly just landscaping. The terrain paint did delete at one point when I hadn't saved it, and I lost my mind because I spent so long on it. That is the most annoying bug at the moment, is when terrain paint deletes itself if I go to manage worlds and then go back in. So hopefully that is fixed in the future because it causes me a lot of grief personally. But I think it's all fine in the end. It turned out okay, and that's what matters. So this home's very small. I wanted to make it kind of a bigger home to begin with, and then I ended up just keeping it this tiny little home. It's more Victorian cottagey, I suppose. It looks like it could fit really well in Windenburg, and the Windenburg items would have looked really nice in this, but it's fine. It turned out how it turned out. When I uploaded it to the gallery though, because I'd put some debug plants in like the plant pots and stuff, so you wouldn't have to purchase plants and plant them yourself, they're already there. I ended up using plants from, I think, Outdoor Retreat and Seasons without realizing. So if you download this from the gallery, the only thing you'll be missing will be a few plants in pots, which is alright, that's easily fixable. So no biggie there. As you can see now, I'm just kind of fiddling around with the exterior. I wanted it to be fenced off just to keep her garden protected, but I also wanted to include this little garden shed out the back because obviously she's a big gardener. You want somewhere to store all your gardening tools, so that way it's all easily accessible. and I really like the little garden shed. If you wanted to, it's big enough that you could turn it into a spare bedroom, or maybe an office, or you could really make it whatever you wanted it to. It's up to you, but the option is there. So this home kind of has a very blue color scheme to it, which I really like. I usually pick like one kind of main color theme for each house, and this one was blue, which is lovely. It looked so cute, and it's a very older style home. So in the interior there is 2 lounge rooms and a main dining. I don't think I put a formal dining room in, but I do have a formal lounge room, which I think is pretty common in older homes in particular. There's definitely usually like a formal lounge room where you're not actually allowed to sit, it's just there to look nice, and then a more practical lounge room. And if you wanted to, you could always swap out the formal lounge room for another bedroom, or you could bedroom and bathroom, or make it an office and a bedroom, whatever you like. There is space for you to change it up how you like, but I did keep it all pretty small. So Rosemary's bedroom is teeny tiny. There isn't any ladders or anything into the attic, because it just didn't seem like a very practical space, but I did fill it with some clutter items just for fun, just to make it look a bit more realistic. Maybe there's a ladder that drops down from the roof, which would be really cool if we had something like that in the game, where you have like a one-tile ladder, obviously, and you can put it up on the roof, and when you need it you can pull it down, and when you're not using it you can put it up, so that way attics and things are more usable. I think that could be really interesting. I don't know how well it would work practically. I think it'd be a bit of fun though, because I really like building attics and things, but I would like if I could separate it a bit more instead of just having a ladder kind of hanging around my house all the time, because they're not the most like visually appealing things. Like stairs have an element of like aesthetic to them, I suppose, where they look quite nice and they are almost a feature in the room, but a ladder just feels like it shouldn't be there when it's in a house. So that's my complaint of the day. If you agree, let me know. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think we should have drop-down ladders? I think it'd be pretty cool. So we are into the kitchen at the moment. I kept the kitchen and dining room kind of in the same area. I also put quite a few cats and dogs items around. There is a little cat bowl and some beds for the cat, maybe multiple cats plural. I didn't give her any pets, actually, because I do like to adopt pets in the game. I think that's a bit more exciting than just making a cat to begin with. So that option is there. You can always move your sim in and give them a dog if you like. There's goldfish. Maybe they don't want cats, they just want goldfish. Maybe the cat died and she just kept all the things. That's interesting. However you like, there's plenty of ways you can play this house. So as you can see, there is a lot of clutter in the bedroom. I spent a long time fiddling around with different bits and bobs. I tried to use some items that were already pre-cluttered, like this desk here. It already has like some stacked books and things on it, so I just stacked some more books and things on it. It's not very practical to use kind of the laptop that's there or the computer that's there, because obviously she's an older lady. She probably doesn't use a computer, but as a sim she's gonna need one because they use them for everything. Maybe she volunteers part-time, maybe she has a part-time job somewhere, who knows, but that it's there if you need it. I included all the necessities. I tried to include a few different skill building items from the 3 packs that I had. I didn't put a cauldron or anything in there. I didn't go that overboard with Realm of Magic. I really didn't use a lot of Realm of Magic stuff at all, just because it didn't really go with the whole aesthetic I was after. It is mostly base game and cats and dogs, except for the doors that I used and a couple of other little movie hangout things that just fit in. But if you only have base game and cats and dogs and not the other 2 packs, then you could definitely play in this house. It's definitely very accessible for everyone, which is lovely. I had a lot of fun with it. As you can see, I'm going through debug at the moment. I spent a lot of time going through debug looking for some cool items to put in. I usually try to cut out me scrolling through debug because oftentimes it's just me going back and forth in the debug menu trying to find like one item, and I can't. It gives me a lot of anxiety searching the debug menu, but it's fine. It's all good. It turned out well in the end. So we are into the formal lounge room at the moment. Oh, maybe I lied. I'm sorry. There's only one lounge room, and it's a formal one. But it's very cozy. It's got a cute little fireplace, and I did put the cat items in here. I think I managed to fit a cat tree in somewhere. Oh, I could be wrong. I built this a little while ago, so my apologies. But I had so much fun with this. I love the kind of Cinderella blue that's everywhere and all the like blue statues. It just looks very cozy and very homey, and I would love to live here very much. I think this would be a fun place to live. There is a lovely little garden out the back and the front, so she can spend her retirement gardening. I put pots all around, so there's lots of plants. If you had the seasons pack, then I would recommend putting the flower arranging table in somewhere. I think that could be a really fun item to have in, because that way she could arrange her flowers with plants she's grown, and I just think that's so cute. You may have seen that I put like pictures and things on every wall in this house as well. That was just to make it feel a bit more cluttered. Again, it's a lot of clutter, but I love cluttering up homes. This is kind of on the verge of being a hoarder home, which I would love to build. I'd love to build a hoarder home just for fun. I think it could be really interesting. I don't know how practical it would be, but maybe I'll turn this into a hoarder home one day. I also have a complaint about the Realm of Magic wall sconces, I think they are. They look so beautiful and they're so pretty and blue and silver, but as soon as you go into the game, they have like blue flames coming out of them. I don't want blue flames coming out of them. I just want them to look pretty. But they have like this weird blue flame and then it just throws off the whole look. So I did actually have to go through and change that because it looks a bit weird. But it's fine. If you like blue flames in your cottage core house, then feel free to put them back in. But it just kind of it wasn't what I wanted, unfortunately. Maybe I'll build a really Realm of Magic focused house with the fiery wall sconces, because I can. So we are onto the yard now. I don't think I cut out that much of the landscaping, but I did cut out some of it because it took an obscenely long time. I spent a long time on this house, which is a bit embarrassing considering it's a pretty small home, but it took forever. So I really hope you do enjoy it, because I had so much fun with this. As you can see, the little garden shed now, it has a woodworking table, which isn't ideal, but because I was limited in my packs, it made the most sense to put in there, and obviously you'd just swap that out for the flower arranging table if you want. You can always keep a woodworking table if you like. Maybe Rosemary likes to do some woodcraft in her spare time. If you have nifty knitting as well, I'd recommend putting some little bags of wool around, because obviously she's an older lady. She might enjoy spending her spare time doing some knitting in between her gardening, which also matches the interior of the house with this very kind of blue and cool toned look, which I think looks really nice when you kind of pick one tone of colour, whether it be like warm colours or cool colours, to have in the garden. It makes it seem very concise, even if the plants and things don't really match. It makes it look like it does, just because it's so same with the colouring, which is really fun. I also really love the mossy gravel terrain paint. I think I use it in like every build that I use terrain paint. I use this one. It's my absolute favourite. I love the little mossy colour. It makes everything instantly seem more cottagey and cozy and just generally fantastic. I'm obsessed with it. Possibly a little bit too much, but I'm obsessed with her. So as you can see, we are nearly done with the build. It's just kind of me going through adding little last minute items now. I just went through and scrolled through like every item in the game and debug to try and fit in a few extra little things here and there, make it seem even more full and overflowing, because obviously she's lived in this home quite a while, so she's had plenty of time to purchase different items and build up her collection of stuff, so that's exciting. If you enjoyed this build, I would love it if you leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see in the future, or if you live in a cottagey old lady home like this, or if you're more of like a modern person and this kind of disgusts you. Who knows? I'd love to know your thoughts. If you want to download this, it will be on the gallery and my user ID will be in the description along with everything else. So have a lovely day. I shall see you all in the next one, and goodbye. bye.